Hello March, goodbye February. I've called this March 1, there might be more in March because there's a lot of things I want to do and I will try and get it out there, and I don't want these videos to start getting too long. One of the things I'm doing, as you can probably see, is I'm getting all my CDs and putting them on my laptop. I should have done this ages ago, this takes forever, but I need my music, so I need to get them onto that sort of format. So, anyway, so I lost track already, where are we? So yeah, planning and preparations for setting off around the south coast, which I want to try and start. I want to do that before the end of March, weather permitting. So been doing a few jobs on the boat, so I'll have a look at those, just bits and pieces, sort of miscellaneous. And also I've been doing a lot of sort of passage planning type ideas, because that's obviously on my mind as to how I'm going to get out of the Bristol Channel. And the other thing that's kind of come to the fore, because I have given up work now for hopefully as long as I can, hopefully forever, is finances, and starting to look at passive income. So let's start off and have a look at finances. Finance, it's always a difficult one, isn't it? It's what we all think of. It's the first thing, you know. We unfortunately we like this sort of sailing bohemian lifestyle, and wouldn't it be nice to just set off into the sunset and just sort of sail for the rest of our lives and not have to worry about money? But you do need some money. I've often talked about and mentioned on this channel the £200 millionaire concept, which is based on the article that Weston Martyr wrote. That one, oh, very, very funny. So that one down there anyway. He wrote that in 1932. Now, £200 a year, if you put that into sort of today's money, that comes out at about £12,000 a year. That would be adequate. If I could get a passive income of £12,000 a year, I'd be very happy. If I could get one of £900 a year, I think that would be absolutely fine. I'm probably about a third of the way there at the moment, so there's a bit of a gap to make up. So how to do it? Well, it's different for different people. There's loads of things out there. So at the moment, obviously last year I covered the idea of the joke-telling dog, which unfortunately I have to say didn't work out due to artistic differences, all to do with, you know, whose name is top of the bill, and all I can say is Trixie is such a diva. Music is one of my passions. I've never, as you can see by all the CDs and things, but I've never managed to make any proper money out of that, and I thought the problem was that I didn't have enough strings, but having moved from 4 strings to 6 strings, it got even worse, so that's not an idea. One of the things I have been working on is writing. Oh, by the way, one of the things I'm not going to do is I'm not going to mix business and pleasure, so you're not going to find me sort of asking you for to become a patron or anything like that, because I just don't want. I don't have a problem with it, and I do actually sponsor a couple of other channels, but I don't want to mix business and pleasure on that side of things. I don't want, you know, I do these videos because I enjoy doing them. I'm not looking to make money out of them. I've started writing. I've put together. This is the one thing, just as a sort of test to see how easy it was to get out there, and it was incredibly easy. That's my first little book. That's not my name. I've used a pen name. It's actually Paul, but you know, I thought Martin sounded, you know, a bit more philosophical. So this is a proper academic-y type philosophy book on a subject that I'm very, very interested in. So this is certainly not the sort of thing to make a lot of money, but I wanted to check how easy it was to get this out on both in paperback and on Kindle. So it's now available on Amazon in loads of different countries. I'll put a no, I won't put a link. Yeah, I'll put a link down so you can look at it, but be warned, this is heavy going. And this is something you can do. You can sit and you can kind of type away, get your document into Word format, get it up, design your own cover. It's just astonishingly easy, and it's a really good I was going to say really good quality book. It's a really good quality book in which pages don't fall out and things, and just with a few clicks of the button, very limited internet access, you can get stuff out there really, really quickly. So this is one of the things that I'm going to be looking to do. And whilst I'm down in Kent with the boat off the water, I'm kind of thinking I'll spend one day on the boat, one day doing the writing, and then really actually treat this as a full-time job, getting this stuff out there. And of course, once it's out there, that's it. So that's my current thinking. If that fails, then it's back to the music and the joke-telling dog stuff. So let's just see how this one goes, shall we? Right, this is the sort of job I would normally do outside, but it's been raining and it's horrible. I need to get this ladder put up, and I need to cut some wood out and mount these onto wood and then onto the frame. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Right, as everybody knows who does anything on a boat or any DIY anywhere, I think the secret is always in making a cardboard template. So this cardboard is basically the transom, so I can, and I've made it pretty much the size of the footprint of the ladder. So what I will do is when it gets dry, and it's still raining, I will tape the cardboard onto the back of the boat, then I can mark up the holes where to drill. So there's the ladder put on, now that it's stopped raining. It looks a bit awkward, as if I can't get onto it because of this blue rope, but that will easily clip to one side. So there we go. Not sure how happy I am with that. I think what I should have done actually is put it further down and then swing it up when it's closed. So, I don't know. Answers on a postcard, please. Tell me what you think about that. I put it up high so that it wouldn't be in the way of, so it wouldn't fall below the transom. But obviously what I didn't think of is if I'd put it about 9 inches lower, I can always kind of fold it up. So I think I will be drilling some more holes. I'm going to wait until I get to sandwich to do that though. This will do fine for the time being, but should have thought that one through, shouldn't I? So there we are floating, and you can probably see Serenity's bobbling about a bit. By the way, I've got a new windshield thing on my microphone, so I'm hoping you're not hearing any wind noise at all. If you are, you'll be very disappointed. So yeah, that kind of almost touches the water, which is great for getting into a dinghy, but not particularly good for swimming. And it's all, as I say, I'm not desperately happy with it, but it's a sort of a practical solution. So any suggestions, really gladly received. Right, so something else I've been meaning to do for ages. Serenity has a baby stay, which is kind of a forestay in between the main forestay and the mast, and I'm not sure why, because you can't hang a sail off it. I've looked in various forums, and its main purpose seems to be to actually snag the head sail when you're tacking, and kind of trying to bring it through the wind. Now I know that I tend to use what most people do, which is to put two bowlines on. I know there is an alternative way of doing it, where you need a single sheet, and I've never tried this, but I'd be very interested in anybody that does this. But one way of getting around this sort of snagging is to put some tubing up. So I've got this sort of tube stuff, and there is a hole down the middle there. And also, if you can see that, it kind of splits into two. Can you see where the thing is? Yeah. so that you can actually put it around the sail. So let's have a look at some before and after footage and see if I've made a wise investment with one of these. Oh, steam train. It's proper spring Marchy time now. So, where is it? I heard it. Which way is it going? Oh yeah, this is proper watching. Not terribly scientific. So here's the before, and this following scenario has certainly happened to me at sea more than once. And here is after fitting the tube thing. Well, I think we have a winner. Passage planning. Now, one of the key things about planning any passage is to have contingencies, because it's really important to plan, but the plans very, very rarely go according to plan. And I'm going to prove this point by actually cutting this section a little bit short, because the video is getting long enough as it is. And I'll cover this, I think, in a more sort of practical way in the next video or the video after. Part of the reason for doing that is I was having looked through this wonderful book, Fearsome Passages by David Rainsbury, where he covers some of the more ferocious sort of tidal races and passages in the UK, and as well as giving sort of pilotage notes, he has experienced each one in his lovely little Contessa 26. And I was looking at this mainly because I want to spend some time around the Dorset area, quite close to this area, which is where the Portland race is, which is a horribly well-renowned area. It's more or less, it's sort of the area where they did the sailing for the 2012 Olympics. But you have to either really go far inshore at the right time, or stick 3 to 5 miles off shore. So I was looking at that, and then I noticed on the map of sort of dangerous places, the Bristol Channel gets a section all to itself, which I didn't realise. So there are several pages on the Bristol Channel. One of the issues here is obviously that the whole of the Atlantic, basically, as the tides come in, is kind of pushing in this direction, as are the winds, and this is why we have the second highest tidal range in the world. What is it, 10, 12 metres, 30, 40 feet or so, because all of this is kind of funneling and pushing down. I am about there, and the winds are westerly, and you can see there's very little protection from the west as you're coming down this way, and ultimately I want to sort of come around here. But if you sort of stick to the Welsh coast, where there are a few more places, then you end up with a very long sort of passage across here, 120 nautical miles, which David describes as sort of one of the most exposed crossings in the UK. So I really need to think about this a little bit more carefully and put lots of contingencies. So as I say, this video is probably getting long enough. So I'm going to call it a day there. Thank you very much for your attention. And March, much better than February. Weather is getting better. Let's see what comes next. Who knows? And see you next time. Cheers. Bye.